Hi everyone, this is Ineke Noordhuizen for one of my personal stories for Storytelling Lab number 16. And this one is called Norwegians Are Born on Skis. So you can kind of already guess where this story happened. I'll show you on the map. It's here near the Ladybug in the city of Trondheim, around that area anyway. And I was thinking about this story because recently it had snowed in the Netherlands. And it brought me back to one of the first times in my life that I experienced huge amounts of snow and really freezing temperatures. When I was around my 20s, I went on a student exchange to Trondheim. And I remember that it was really cold. It was like more than minus 10 degrees Celsius cold. I remember that we saw it on the thermometer in the car when we were driving up there. And we decided to get out of the car just to see what it felt like. So we got out of the car before I thought I would shrink or I would freeze to the pavement. Luckily, none of those two things happened. And what I did experience was that it was a really different kind of cold than the cold I'm used to in the Netherlands. Like here in the Netherlands, it's usually really humid and windy. And somehow it kind of cuts through your clothing. While when we were out of the car at minus 10 or even below, in Norway it felt dry and crisp and fresh, but it did kind of feel like it would suck the moisture out of your skin. So it was fun to feel it, and it didn't scare me as much after that anymore, but I was happy to be back in the car. So we went up to Trondheim, and the students over there, they organized like a winter wonder fest. So they took us to areas which were a bit remote, where there was a lot of snow and ice and hills, and we could do all kinds of different stuff. We could go sleigh riding, we could go cross country skiing, and we could go skiing. But I had done sleigh riding before, because even that's possible in the Netherlands sometimes. But I had never done cross country skiing, and I had never skied from a hill. I mean, hills in the Netherlands, it doesn't really exist. So, I was eager to experience it, and full of, a fresh and open mind, I decided to participate in all these activities. So the first one was the cross-country skiing. So they gave me all the material that I needed, and we did the cross-country skiing, and they explained to me what I should do. So after falling quite some times, it was quite okay. And then after practicing a bit, they said, okay, so we have a match, like a competition now, for all the foreign students to do a little cross-country track. And then you have to do 2 laps on the track. And we will see not who's the fastest, but we will see who will do those 2 laps at exactly the same time. And when the 2 times are most close together, that's the person who will win this competition. So that was good, because I wasn't so fast, but I really like doing it, and I always really want to win. So I also participated in the cross-country track, 2 laps. So I was doing my first lap, and really doing my best. And then in some turn, I fell over. And I thought it's no problem, because it doesn't matter who is fastest. So I got back up, and I continued cross-country skiing again. And then at the second lap, I remember that I was getting the hang of it, and it was going better and better and better. But I thought, yeah, I really want to win. So at the same lap, like the same point where previously I fell over, I decided to throw myself into the snow and then crawl up back again. And continue with the track, because I was really anxious on winning. They didn't tell us at the moment who won, but later in the evening at a party they would tell us. So the next element was the skiing from a hill. So first they said, okay, have you ever done skiing before? I told no, I've never done skiing before. So they explained to me the basics. And then there was a little flat meadow where there were only really tiny Norwegian, I think, babies on skis. I don't know, they were so tiny. And I was trying to keep my balance and not fall over. When I was at this flat area, there were all these really tiny Norwegians with helmets on. They were just like coming past me the entire time and nearly knocking me over at the ankles. and they were at the ideal height because they could like kneecap me and I would be totally flat on the floor. So it was a bit busy at the baby meadow, and then one of the Norwegian guys, he said, "You got this. Just to take the ski lift up." Ski lift. Well, I fell down that one 3 times, but after I kind of got the hang of it, we went up. And then when you're up the hill, you can go down. It's fun. Okay, so I went up, and when I went up and up and up, I thought, oh God, this is getting really high. This is getting really high. Does this guy know? I told him, right? I've never skied before. I don't know what to do. So we're at the top of the hill. It was really icy. And he said, oh yeah, you just go like this. And whoosh, away he was. And I was standing there at the top of the hill thinking, I think I'm gonna die. I saw like a ravine where I already imagined myself fall into. I really didn't know what to do. But the first lesson the Norwegians taught me was, if you think you're going too fast or you're losing control, just throw yourself into the snow and you'll be fine. But this was so steep and there was no snow. It was really icy snow. So I didn't really feel like trying that. So me and some other newbies at skiing kind of were a bit stuck upon the hill. And the Norwegian guy, he kind of noticed that we weren't really following him. So he took the ski lift back up. And then he was like, are you guys okay? Because why aren't you skiing? And I told him again, yeah, man, I'm kind of scared. I see the ravine over there. I've never skied before. I think if I fall, I just roll down the hill. It's so steep. It's so high. I don't know what to do anymore. And he said, oh, okay. Well, don't worry. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to ski you down like you're a kid. And we do this with the small children, but I'm sure I can do it with you as well. And I know this guy, he had been in the army and he was really strong. So I thought, yeah, okay, I can, yeah, he can probably hold me. I asked him, he said, yeah, you'll be fine. So he made a V with his skis and he said, just go behind me, grab my waist, go in a V and I will ski you down and then you can get a feeling of the speed. And just hold me and I will do it. So I was really anxious, really excited to do this. So I put my skis into his V. I grabbed him really, really tight and trying not to kill him. Really hold him tight. And he skied smoothly with me down the hill. And I remember the feeling and the sensation. It was amazing. I felt the wind in my face. I felt the sun on my skin. And I also felt his subtle movements of the muscles in his back and his legs because I was pressed totally against him. And I felt how smooth and how I kind of understood for the first time why people like to go on winter sports. But when I was finally down, I thought, well, I think I'm going to stay here. And then I asked him, so how long have you been doing this? Because you're so good at it. And I see all these little kids who can barely walk, but they're still on skis. And he told me, he looked at me in the eye and he said, didn't you know? I said, what? He said, Norwegians are born on skis. Well, I guess he's right. So later that evening we were at the party. And yeah, guess what? Guess who won at the cross-country skiing? It was me. Yay! So I get to choose or to get like a big bottle of champagne for myself or to give a round of drinks to all the students there. And obviously I chose the second one. So yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to this story. So how have you been handling the cold? And how is it for you guys to experience a totally different temperature than what you're used to? I'm really curious to find out. See you next time for another storytelling lab. Bye bye.